Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, my name's Dave, and today I'm going to be talking a little bit about the BrickLink store. Some exciting news that I've hinted at over the past, I think, couple weeks, but you are all familiar with my drawer system. It's here behind me. I'm working on doing an expansion that unfortunately is a lot of extra work that I'm having a hard time getting around to. But that's going to be down there. I'm going to clear out that section to put some more stack-ons down there. But the news about what those stack-ons are going to be for, I don't honestly remember. I might have shared it, but it is going to be for used parts. I finally decided to take the plunge after doing a lot of talking with some people at Philly Brickfest about some of the ways that they go about doing their BrickLink stores and how they sort through their bulk brick. I decided it was worth a try. So I think that means that there will be some more interesting parts coming to the store, not just those that are brand new on the shelf, but hopefully some that you can't get anymore. Lots of the old colors, light gray, dark gray, some stuff maybe even in some higher quantities coming soon. That is the next big step for me. And so I thought what might be fun for this episode, I'm going to go ahead and share the recent orders. I know that I've had a few orders come in, so I do have some of those recorded. I'm going to go ahead and drop those in this video as well, so that if you're looking for your order to be pulled, hopefully you'll be able to see it this week. But I'm also going to go through real quick the process that I use to clean my brick. I can't talk a whole lot about the process that I use to sort it at this point. It's still being worked out. But one important thing I have to do is give a huge shout out to my mom. My mom has been such a huge help and has taken on a lot of the sorting right now. She's been going through the bulk brick. I started off with the stuff that wasn't clean, and that's why I wanted to share this process a little bit and talk about it. But now she's going ahead and doing the clean stuff. I can't even express how thankful I am to have a mother who is so supportive of everything that I do. So thank you very much, Mom. I know that you're watching this, and that is awesome. Thank you for your help. It's really nice to know that you've got my back. It's really going to help make sure that I get these used parts in the store a lot quicker than I otherwise could. I am just scrambled and running 100 different directions with 100 different things. I think what I need to do is try and figure out how to get Scott to do more of it. I started getting him kind of going through some bricks and plates, which has been helpful, but there's only so long that he can do that for. Maybe I'll end up having to have a sorting party. Maybe that's the thing. Before I get too far off tangent, here come the BrickLink orders. After that, though, please stay tuned. I'm going to share the process that I use to clean my brick. Really happy that I found this. This is something that I feel very safe about and good about. And so hopefully you can look these things up. I'll show you the tools that I use and purchase some of this stuff yourself so that you can start going through some of your bulk bricks as well. Just received an order on our BrickLink store from Vi in California. Vi's ordered one lot, 33 different items, total of $6.11 plus shipping, handling, yada yada. I'm printing the packing slip right now. We got to go find bin 651 because he's clearing it out. So 651's a nice easy one. Right here, I remember entering these pieces. I do see that drawer 651 has some different components in it. I'm going to have to get all the little black Technic ball joints out of it. We're going to put them in one bag, slap a nice little thank you on here to Vi, and get this order shipped out. So thank you very much, Vi, for your order. I really appreciate it. All right, folks, so this one's a little bit of a different order. I'm actually logged into my computer remotely at the moment, and I pulled up the order. So this order for Ed in North Carolina is being packed up slightly different. I just got done logging into the machine so I could pull up the order and I could go ahead and print the packing slip. My wife, Lori, is going to be packing up the 2 items across one lot. It's the cool little small dolphins, I believe. They might be the full-size ones. I don't quite remember. And I can't see them in my hands right now because I can't pull drawer 1431. But Lori can. This order came to $3.56. Ed, your order will go out what's tomorrow from our perspective, or in essence the day after you ordered it. Thank you so much for your order, Ed. Thank you very much to my wife Lori for being willing to pull these orders while I'm away. Now all I got to do is prep the packing slip after she's got it all ready to go, and this will be the first of the remote pulled BrickLink orders. Just got done moving all my video footage from the Philly BrickFest 2021 footage over to the computer. I am running through the conversion tool that I use to make sure that my audio stays in sync with my video. While that's going on, I did get a BrickLink order in that I did not get a chance to pack because it came in Saturday night. Normally I would have packed this Sunday and gotten it out Monday, but because I was traveling, I did not have the chance to talk to my wife about it. This order comes to us from Fred in Oregon. We're going to go to drawer number 1355. So we're going to go ahead and move the ladder over here. You can see we got another sneak peek at some of that stuff. I think you guys have already seen the video by now, but I'm not 100% positive because sometimes these videos get a little confusing as to when they come out. Minifigure down, minifigure down. We have quantity 1 of the Cole Secrets of the Forbidden Jiu-Jitsu, Spinjitzu. One item, one lot, $3.30 plus all the goodies. I'm going to go ahead and get this bagged up. Fred, thank you very much for your order. I really appreciate it. And we have another BrickLink order. This order comes to us from Christopher. I forget which city Christopher is in, or which state for that matter. However, Christopher has ordered 28 different items against 12 different lots for a total of $20.11. Apparently, Christopher is from Florida, so thank you very much, Christopher, for your order. I'm going to go ahead and get this packed up and in the mail. Let's see, are there any highlight pieces? We'll do highlights at the end. And Christopher's order has been pulled. Setting this aside here, we got a couple different color ingots, the pearl, or flat silver, I think, as well as the pearl gray. We've got a cool, I think it's the Warmonger mask. A couple little minifig accessories with a minifigure. The name is Gellert Grindwald. We got some dark red pieces. I thought this one was kind of neat. It's a minifigure head that's got like a target droid. I don't know. Maybe this is that thing that Luke was fighting in the Millennium Falcon. This piece I also thought was pretty cool. It's an octagonal topped 1x1. Very neat. Didn't even know I had that in there. And lastly, we've got one of the flying skeletal horses from Harry Potter. So very neat figures overall. Chris, thank you very much again for your order. I really appreciate it. Okay, so to do this video right, I have to be in the setting where I end up doing most of my stuff. And to clean my brick, I use my kitchen. It tends to be the most convenient place for me. That does mean that there's probably an echo on this video. Hopefully it's not too bad. Here's what I have. I brought up a bin of bulk pieces. These ones here have actually already been sorted. And let me talk a little bit about that. So these are all Technic pins and pieces and gears and all that kind of stuff. So the problem with sorting your stuff prior to cleaning them is that it creates a lot smaller lots. Now, if I had a place that I could stick these around and keep them until I process all my bulk brick and then have, I don't know, 20 pounds of Technic pieces to clean, I could do that and that wouldn't be as bad. However, what's happened here is I end up with, what's that, about a fifth, maybe a quarter of a shoebox container full of Technic, which means if I want to keep these sorted, I have to wash these as a single lot by themselves, which means my cleaning process is really going to slow down. And I still have to do the sort. Well, in this case, I did the sort up front. But if instead of doing, let's say, 20 different cleaning batches for each individual category, bricks, plates, slopes, minifigures, panels, base plates, large pieces, Technic pieces. I mean, the list can go on and on. Transparent pieces. Instead of doing a separate washing batch for each of those, what I do is wash them all together up front. And that way, the pieces are all clean right from the get-go, and then when you sort them, right, I can do a single clean of a huge bin. I would end up doing something typically much larger than this, but this is the bulk that I happen to have laying around to be able to show this with you. Normally I would clean something not quite like a 16 or 17 gallon tote, something along the lines of around 4, maybe 8 of these containers worth of pieces. And so what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and clean these. Normally I would clean them as a big batch. And then after they've all been cleaned, that's when I would go through the sorting process. And then they're all done so that I can just sort down as far as I need to until I end up with pieces that I can enter into my store. So for this one though, I'm going to flip this camera around and show you how I go about cleaning these parts. And then I'm going to show you the drying process as well, both of which I think are fairly important. Now I do need one more ingredient here, and that is I use this Dawn dish soap, which isn't super special. It's a very mild detergent in essence. This one is scented, although I haven't had any problems. This helps me make sure that I can get some of the grime and dust that ends up collecting on a lot of these Lego pieces off and ready. So I'm going to flip this camera around and I'm going to show you my process for how I clean these parts. Okay, so here we have it. I've got my bin, I've got my Dawn detergent, and I'm just going to flip this open and just give it a little bit of a spray in the top. I end up filling up the next part with water. I don't use hot water because I don't want any possibility to melt any pieces. Now maybe at your house your water doesn't get that hot. Some of our water does in fact get pretty hot. And then I actually use the sprayer because what this does is it helps agitate the soap on top to create the suds. And it also helps to make sure that that soap isn't sitting directly on any of the parts in the bin. Nice and suddy. So the key here is that I've got all the pieces are now submerged underwater. And so now what I can do is I can take and just gently massage for a moment these parts to ensure that the soap is all around them and that they've all kind of pulled away from each other. That's the key. If you have a couple pieces that are stuck together, if there's any grime in between it, it won't end up breaking loose. And so then once I've done this, the next part is just to let it sit. I like to let this soak for at least 2 hours. 2 hours I feel like gives a good chance for all the soap and all the water and all the grime to kind of get mixed together and break it off of the pieces so that when I get to the next phase, we've got everything in a nice clean state. So we're going to go ahead and leave this here for a little bit so that it can get clean. Okay, now that these pieces have soaked for at least 2 hours, what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and use this, which is the key to how I rinse and dry my parts off. This is known as either a lingerie washing machine bag or an intimate bag. And it's intended for your specialty type garments to be thrown in here so that you can put them in the dryer and they don't snag or tear on things. It's got a zipper that allows you to seal it up. And this is how we're going to allow us to get the pieces all in this bag without losing anything down the drain, as well as be able to rinse and dry those parts off. So let's go ahead and show you how I do that. Because this bin is actually so small, what I can really do is pick it up and really get the entire bag around it. When you're using a larger bin, usually I just kind of loop it over the edge and pull up. But in this case here, I can play it super safe, cover the whole bin, and then lift it and put it over top of the sink. Simply turn it over, dump those pieces out so that the bin ends up being empty. So we now have an empty bin. Just got a little bit of soap in there. Oops. I did have a couple parts because of how I looped it around. So these little Technic pins, we're going to throw back in the bag. This, we're just going to throw in the other part of the sink. At this point, we have a bag that we can zip up, and it contains all of our Lego in it. Now, in this case here, you can see that we've got a lot of soap on these still. So next what we're going to do, so now that we've got these all in here, we got a lot of soap on the parts. What I like to do next is make sure to rinse them all off. So we're going to use our little sink sprayer again. And we're just going to blast all these down and try and remove as much soap from the parts as possible. If you have to, it's sometimes a good idea to lift it up so it's not setting in the soap. It helps the soap end up coming off the parts and go down the drain. Okay, so at this point, feels like we got most of the soap off. I think it feels pretty good. I don't see a ton in there. There's still a little bit of suds, but I'm not real worried about it for this video. Because my drying area is not over here by the sink, I'm actually going to rinse out the bin that I used to put my pieces in, and I'm going to use this to transport my parts in the bag to the drying area. So here I am in one of my bathrooms, in essence, that's a little bit larger so I can put some parts up without being in the way. You can see here I've got 2 large bins full of parts that have already been cleaned. These things have already gone through this process, which is why they happen to be in here. So next, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take these parts, and what I like to do is just kind of drape them over the edge so that I can get a good breeze, because that's the next part. Okay, so now that I have it set up right here, what I need to do is use a handy-dandy box fan. So I'm going to take this box fan, set it. I've got it propped up on one of those Lego bins, and what I'm going to do is turn this on, put it at a medium speed. By aiming the fan at the pieces, it allows those pieces to dry off a lot quicker and helps move the water and kind of keep it circulating a little bit so that it's not just sitting in a puddle the entire time. So this I end up having to set usually for around a couple hours. After about an hour or so, I will come in and flip those so that I can keep the wet pieces at the forefront of the fan. So now that everything is completely dry, what I like to do is I reuse the container that I originally used, not necessarily to wash it, but to store it, or a larger container. You're going to want to unzip the bag, and then these ones here, because they got this little top flap, I like to fold it inside out to hopefully prevent that, which is pieces getting stuck in there, because you don't want to be picking up a bunch of random pieces. That's why I try and avoid that. And then once it's inside out, theoretically nothing will get stuck there. You drop the top into the bag, lift the bottom, make sure to get it from the corner so again, nothing gets stuck. We've got both corners of the bag, and we just slowly pull up, which empties the pieces back into the bucket. And that's all it takes. And now we've got a bunch of clean Technic pins and arms and all that kind of fun stuff. So now that I've got my clean pieces in my bucket, this is really when the sorting starts. Well, normally, right now, because it's pins and tech arms and all that kind of fun stuff, I'm not going to be probably doing a whole lot more sorting there, minus the separation to actually get entered into the store. Let me know what you think of my cleaning process. If you've got a better way to do it, please let me know in the comment section below. I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you enjoyed seeing the orders being pulled. And we will see you all in the next video. Bye, everybody.